tell me now. Talk me through, because I this is my first opportunity to talk to someone who actually was there, and this is not me asking from an adverse perspective or try to catch you in something. This is just me asking.
He's trolling him. He's trolling him.
When you heard the gunshot, are you familiar with guns? You grew up hunting, shooting rifles, shooting pistols.
I have. I killed my own elk for the first time 2 years ago with my brother.
What'd you use?
And I just used my brother's 30. I think it's a 30-06. It's a just an old hunting rod.
Convenient.
So, yeah. So I'm gonna find out. I will ask him, but I really don't know. So it could be anything. But it was an old hunting bolt action hunting rifle. It was my brother's son's rifle. Yeah, and you get an idea.
Sound like a 30-06 round to you, even from 100 yards away or 150 yards away?
At the time of the shot, my first, I was literally hoping that it was firecrackers. The first thing out of my mouth was that a firecracker? You know, because the sound of it had kind of reverberated in that trapezoidal building setup with all the buildings around the courtyard, and so it had this kind of weird effect.
By the time it hit you first, your video doesn't suggest it did.
In the video, you'll hear me say, "Was that firecracker?" Yeah. And so that's why I said that, because it kind of made this reverberating sound that to me gave it like a firecracker effect. So if that makes sense, but that was just my first, you know,
depth of the sound.
I fired the two on the same days multiple times. I kind of have an idea, but to me,
these pops on the roof right here.
Correct.
Okay.
So we're trying to get through right now. We're trying to go from these people that I was passing on my way down this walkway.
So this walkway right here, this is the walkway that I had in my last video of the possible Lance Twiggs walking down. This is coming from the other direction that I used from Google Earth.
For fast food workers that were coming out of the what do you call it, the food court.
And you're going to the Losey Center. Why has news broken by this point that they believe the shot came from the Losey Center?
Because if you go back, you'll see all the cops on the roof. That's why I'm pointing at. That's why I'm headed there.
If you guys want to watch this raw footage live of this, I will leave a link in the description.
Accusing me of being involved in a conspiracy and saying that I've got people telling me in my ear what, because the cops had swarmed that.
Okay, here we go.
So, like, it's all as far as the logical progression of events. The cops, everybody heard the shot. Everybody told the cops. The cops went to that building. Thus, I filmed the cops on that building. It wasn't some Grandmaster Dr. Evil and George Soros in my freaking earpiece telling me where to do that. That was the main point of your video. You know, this minutia of trying to get into whether or not the Losey Center actually rises above the trees or not is absolutely off topic. It's not off topic at all. You spent an hour video accusing me of being involved in a conspiracy and saying that people telling me in my ear what to do.
Never accused you of being in a conspiracy.
You knew that it made sense to you, and it made total sense that that's the case. That's what you said in your hour-long video.
Here's where you're
pausing 5 minutes of my footage and making baseless claims.
I didn't make
accusing me of things that resulted in your followers DMing me and spamming my comments with accusations.
Can I show you this?
Take responsibility for what you did.
I didn't do anything. I'm going to take responsibility for
anything. You should have reached out in advance. You didn't. You should have reached out in advance. If you'd reached out in advance, maybe we could have had a live stream and had a discussion about this and this minutia bullshit where you spent an hour.
Can I show you the map here?
You spent an hour dragging me through the mud, and now you want to sit here and talk about whether or not your theory lines up. Your conspiracy theory, dude. You made an hour of footage out of pausing 5 minutes of mine where I'm carrying it, made the dumbest accusations I've ever heard, and your idiot followers have been attacking.
I don't have idiot followers. Can I point to this here?
Yes, get back to your ridiculous point that has no bearing on anything from your previous video. Go ahead.
Right. Okay. So here, it has plenty of bearing. So you're here at the corner. The stair
keeps saying stuff under his mouth, under his breath, and he takes it. He came on combative, right? So let's go.
Cases here, you're talking to people who are pointing, and they're pointing this way. No, the problem with your story is
I didn't give a shit about what those guys said. I didn't care what those guys said. I only wanted to film the rooftop. That's what you said.
I'm asking you a specific question.
Why did you say that?
Because all you filmed was
I didn't care what those guys said. Why you made the assertion that I didn't give a shit.
It looked like you didn't care. Yes. Can you answer this question?
I was only talking to them to film the roof behind them. How
That's what it looked like.
ridiculous.
I've already told you it looked like that. Can you answer this question?
Screen.
So you're,
Pull up your screen from last time where you said
I'm
that.
not
Why
pulling
would
it
you
up.
say
You can
such
pull it
a
up.
dumb
Hey,
statement?
I invited you on.
Why would you make that claim?
Try to, oh my gosh. Are you done? Can I ask
Why
you
would
this?
you make that claim? Why would you make the claim?
Why is it when I'm trying to point to something that's an impossibility?
You don't
go
think
into
it's
filibuster
irresponsible
mode?
to make an hour?
No, I think it's irresponsible to go into filibuster mode when I'm asking you a specific question about angle.
Without reaching out in advance. You don't think that was irresponsible?
No. Now, you were in this corner.
That.
You're in this corner right here where this white dot is. You're talking to these guys who are pointing where?
I think if you look at if you try and find where
this is the Losi Center sniper's nest,
the sea level height of those buildings, you'll see that the Losi Center is actually comes up above that one. And I actually took another video. I went back with my camera, took a video from the perspective of where Charlie Kirk got shot, and you can clearly see that the Losi Center rises above the level of that other building that you were trying to make.
Where Charlie Kirk got shot. Well, where Charlie Kirk got shot, this Sorensen Center is not in the way. But where you're talking to these guys, in the
actually is in the way. The peak of the Sorensen Center roof is in the way. But you wouldn't know that because you haven't bothered to do any checking on any of the claims that you've made. You haven't bothered to do anything.
Stop filibustering.
If you go down in there, you'll see the peak of that roof. If
I will show you.
If Charlie Kirk moved over 3 feet to his left, the peak of the Sorensen Center would be in the way.
All right. If I was a very guilty person, I would filibuster when someone's trying to point out angles.
Dude, you made an hour's footage of claims, and you won't even bother to accept responsibility.
I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. You take the sniper's net. Just Charlie Kirk and the Sorensen Center is not in the way.
You're changing the subject. You're trying to make it about this crap about the alignment of the shot. That's irrelevant, dude. You accused me of having people in my ear telling me what to video.
No, I didn't.
You accused me.
I suggested it looked like it, and I believe that.
About what those kids said, that I was bullshitting and only filming them. I'm sitting there having a discussion with those guys. You said that I didn't want that guy's comments to be on video where he's complimenting my equipment and asking me about it. Like, why would I? Why would
because he's down here on the screen, bro.
Why would I sit there and talk? Yeah, because I was moving. I was moving around, and then when I talk to those guys, I move the camera so that their faces are right in the center.
You've heard of the term crash out, right? You've heard of the term crash out.
You're being critical of the.
Oh, did you hear him? Hey, did you guys hear him? You know, the crash out's been a lot in the news. Everyone's crashing out. You know, everyone's has a crash out moment right now. Even Joe Rogan, everyone's crashing out. It's so epic that he's like going, you've heard the term crash out. He's just really giving him an old sternum rub, man, just to really get him alive right now. Let's go back.
Moving the tripod from place to place.
Can I go back to the map?
You have the dumbest conspiracy theories on the internet. Okay. That's what that is. Yeah. You want to talk about a crash?
If they're dumb, prove them wrong.
The dumbest conspiracy theory ever.
If they're dumb, then this should be easy to prove wrong. Okay. Sniper nest.
Dude, I was carrying the tripod around from place to place. That's the stupidest accusation ever.
This is the sniper nest. This is where Charlie Kirk was.
Pull it up.
Oh my God, dude! Please stop. Stop.
You made an hour's content out of 3 minutes of footage where I'm moving from place to place. Can you just pull it up? You're sitting here making the same claim. I was literally
because I'm going to show you that what you just from location
to location. No, you're talking about
you are crashing out.
You're talking about trajectory, dude.
No, I'm talking about buildings in the way.
What does this have to do with you accusing me of having somebody in my ear? Go ahead.
Okay. I didn't accuse you. I said it appeared as if.
Go back to your live stream. Let's go ahead and pull that up, Jamie.
And let me tell you. Will you accept my sincerest apology?
I have a list of the assertions that you made. I have a list of the assertions.
And I take them back. I apologize. I denounce them. I recant. All right. Now answer the question about.
You are, a responsible journalist.
I'm not a journalist.
Okay, if you said in your last stream that you are an investigative journalist.
I'm an investigative journalist.
Okay.
All right. Answer the question.
If you are what you claim to be.
This is a stupid conspiracy theory. Can you please get rid of this in like 2 seconds?
Second. Let me speak.
Hey,
hang on a second. I'll accept your apology if you say that you'll be responsible.
I'm going to mute him for a second because I got to say this. I want the audience to know that when I got to where what he was saying mathematically would not work.
Responsibility. You can't take responsibility. What a pussy.
When I got to where the mathematics don't work and don't support his story.
Call him a pussy. Yeah, now the name starts calling. This is great.
He went into filibuster mode and crashed out. I just want to point that out. Okay. Now, can we get back to
filibuster mode? I said I would accept your apology.
I have apologized.
Be more responsible.
Now, let's go over the angles here.
Now that you've blown up, can you let me finish? Can I finish, please?
I will give you 30 seconds to say whatever you want. If you promise you'll answer these questions
UFC
in just a minute.
time.
Because I didn't invite you on to crash out. I
UFC
invited you
time.
on to answer questions, and I was being respectful. And then you just went crazy. Like
your last video was the farthest thing from respectful that I've ever fucking heard of. So don't give me this crash out bullshit. Can I finish what I was saying, please?
I said you could have 30 seconds. You're wasting it. Go.
Okay. If you will say that you will be responsible as a journalist now that you have blown up and have this platform going forward, I'll accept your apology and answer whatever questions you have about the trajectory or whatever to the best of my ability.
All right, let's talk angles. All right, go back to Google.
Are you going to be responsible going forward before you drag anybody else?
I'm going to be me. I cannot guarantee that I'm never going to irritate.
You're not a responsible journalist. Why am I wasting time with a tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist?
What? All you have to do, if I'm so easy and so stupid, just point out why what I'm saying is ludicrous.
You made the bullshit claims, and you won't answer to them.
I've apologized for them. Move on. You're like a bad ex-wife that will not accept your apology.
Was bullshit, dude.
Okay. Do you see this yellow line here?
Responsibility for what you did.
Do you? I do. Do you see this yellow line here?
So I'm not here to debate. I'm not here to debate with you on your bullshit conspiracies. My opinion is that if that is muzzle flash in my footage that I took while I was there, because I was on the ground, I was on the ground doing something, because I was with the footage that I made. If that is muzzle flash, I believe, in my opinion, that it actually enforces what the FBI is saying. That's what I'm saying.
All right, I got you. Yeah. Let's go back to what I was trying to do before your 40-minute filibuster here.
Filibuster, dude, you spent over 40 minutes making bullshit claims about me and dragging my name through the mud.
We don't have to wonder whether you can see the Sorensen, the Losey Center from here. We can tell for a fact you can't.
Yeah, guess where I am now? Now
on the ground
in the courtyard. Previously, when I was up,
you were in the courtyard when the guys were
elevated. You see the elevated position right there. See, that would give you a different perspective than just like when you have the difference between a live stream and a recorded raw video file.
This is where the guys were pointing.
You have a different perspective when somebody's 20 feet.
So yeah, you guys are probably getting bored with the bickering, but it is totally epic. It is totally epic. Let me just I think it does get a little more
conspiracy theories. I'm not here for that. I don't care about that. Conspiracy theories, buddy. I'm not the right guy for that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to. I would just
if you want to do that, if you want to operate in that sphere and not take,
do you know why I'm at?
If you want to operate in that sphere and not be a responsible journalist, you're welcome to do that. But if you're going to talk about somebody for an hour and make up bullshit lies about them, reach out to them in advance.
Do you know why I'm asking you if you can see the Losey Center from here? Why? Do you know why that's a relevant question? Do you have are you high enough IQ to understand why?
Why I say that you're a guy with a platform that should actually do that in advance. Do you understand that?
Okay. I'm asking. I'll just explain for the crowd. The reason, folks, that I
don't care. So you're going through these explanations, and I just don't care.
I know, but they do. So let me explain it to them.
Okay, well, you can explain it to them.
I'm asking,
so if you have any more questions about why
the reason I'm asking is because
if you have any more questions,
because he said that those guys were pointing at the Losey Center.
Shit.
And they couldn't possibly.
I'm not staying in here and being muted. So you can have a good stream.
Well,
if you have any more questions about why I filmed something in particular,
I'm trying to ask you the questions.
No, you're trying to parse through bullshit conspiracy theories. I'm not here for that. I don't care about that shit, dude.
Hey, dude, I was 30 minutes ahead in this video.
I'm not here to make up conspiracy theories with you. That's not why I came on here. I came on because you dragged my name through the mud for over an hour. I don't care about your theory. I don't care about your trajectory. I don't care about that stuff, dude.
That's clear.
Out in advance, maybe I would have had this discussion with you if you had been a responsible person, but you weren't and you aren't.
Oh, I'm glad.
Why would I care? Why would I give a shit about your theory, dude? I don't care. So I'm not going to sit here while you mute me over and over, dude. So let me tell you this. Let me tell you this before I sign off, okay? Let me tell you this.
Can I go? No. Don't sign off.
Let me tell you this, Baron.
And you sent me back there.
Baron.
No, he doesn't want to talk about why he was filming this shot. He does not want to talk about that. Clearly, he wants to get off.
I told you. I explained it in detail.
I asked you.
I explained it in detail.
All right, go ahead.
The
What do you want to say? You got
cops
30
were
seconds.
there.
What do you want to say?
The cops were
I'm getting
there.
ready to go in
That's
30
why I
seconds. What
filmed
do you
it.
want to say?
The cops were on the building. Look at the cops in the building. They're right there. If you zoom in,
All right.
you'll see them. The cops were there. That's why I filmed it. End of story. That's it.
Okay.
So
I was asking
like,
how you got here, and you went back to people pointing. So I went to find the people pointing.
dude, I already explained
Have a
to
good
you.
day.
I was
Life
going
is
down the
driving.
other
I
side of this
appreciate
building.
your time.
The cops yelled at me from the roof, and that's
not
why I
over
went
yet.
to this spot. Okay.
And that's why I went to
It's not over yet. It's not over yet.
this one spot on this one corner, not looking at the cops, not looking at the
cops are
roof.
there. Look, if you zoom in, you'll see that there's cops on the roof on both sides.
Are the cops in the room with us?
The cops are on the roof in that shot right there.
Oh, okay, yeah. But
You're trolling him. He's trolling him. You hear all the like, there's cops in the room with us. He's effing with him.
the angle
That's
where
why I
you
filmed that footage.
you know this little divot right here is where the alleged shooter dropped, right?
Yes,
You're
and if you,
right here.
and
Okay.
I'm standing right now in that shot. I'm standing on a knoll, like a little grassy knoll.
And so and so what I was trying to ask you
knoll.
during your filibuster is how you
So,
ended up in that
It's not a
location.
filibuster, dude. It's not a filibuster. You're sitting here trying to parse through stuff that I don't care about. Okay. The way I got to that location was, I already told you, I was going through the center of the Losi Center, between the Losi Center and the courtyard, trying to get to the other side of the building where my wife was. We got yelled at by the cops on the roof. They said, you can't go this way. So I went around the other way, and we went up those stairs. We got up to that grassy knoll, and I thought, that's a good spot to get an angle, a good vantage point of where the cops are on the roof of this building. That, to me, it sounded like that's where the shot came from. So that's why I was in this position, because there's police on the roof that just
Over
yelled
here,
at me.
right? Way over here. The cops are way over here.
They're on the other side of this roof. No, they're on the other side. There is cops there,
There's
and
cops
they're
right
on the
there.
other side.
Yeah. But
You're
focused on this corner for some reason.
I know I'm not focused on any corner. I've got the whole building in view.
Okay.
If I was focused on the corner, I would have zoomed in. I can zoom in with my camera, but I didn't zoom in. I got the whole building in there. Yeah. You not know what a zoom is?
Now, what are you doing here? Well, you're walking away from the building. You've had enough of it.
No, hang on. No, go back a second. Do you not know what focusing in on an angle is?
Yeah, I do. Hey, so you roll up.
No. Go back a second.
52 minutes.
If I was focused on that angle, I would have zoomed in. You freaking moron.
Okay, so you roll up. You roll up at 52 minutes.
You claim to be a formerly in the business. You don't even know what a focus shot is. This is not focused in. I'm not focused in. That's not that corner is not even in the center of the shot, dude. The building is.
Like
I've got the entire building.
Your shot.
I've got the building from left to right because. Hang on. Because right beforehand, the cops yelled at me from the other side of this building that I'm videoing. And so I saw that with my eyeballs because I was an eyewitness. I saw, the cops are on the roof. I'm going to go and video this building. That's what I was there. That's who told me to. My eyeballs did.
Gotcha. Okay. So you come to this building.
If I was focused, I would have been zoomed in on the corner.
Stop talking and answer my question.
Statement, dude.
Hey, if I ask you questions and you think they're stupid, then answer them in a way.
Why are you focused in on this? I'm not focused in on that corner. Can you not see the entire building there? Are you blind?
Gotcha. Okay. So it's
called willful ignorance.
Because you roll up on this building.
You are so confident in your armchair.
You won't shut up long enough for me to be confident.
You're sitting here with your little bullshit theories, and then you're like, "Why are you focused in on this corner, dude? I'm not focused on the corner. I've got the whole fucking building in there. You moron! What is wrong with you?
Do you have the whole building in this shot?
All you care about is your conspiracy theories. That's all you care about.
It's not a conspiracy theory.
Which is why you didn't give a shit about dragging my name through the mud. You didn't give a shit about Phil Lyman.
Program when people
reach out to Phil Lyman, a very public figure. You could have reached out to Phil Lyman in advance.
I did today.
In advance. Yeah, today. That's after the fact, you doofus. What's wrong with you? I just said in advance.
Who calls people
doofus? Freaking stupid. See, you're not responsible. Okay. You're not a responsible.
So you roll up.
You are a piece of shit. You are a piece of shit.
Duly noted. You roll up on this building.
Thank you for the last 24 hours.
You roll up on this building at 52 minutes.
Piece of human garbage. So
you roll up on this building at 52 minutes.
Dude, I don't care.
And your statement you just made is
I don't care. I already told you why I was filming that building. So
I know, and I want to just demonstrate that your statement doesn't make sense.
I'm not parsing through my statement with you. What part of that did you not understand?
Well, why did you come on then? I thought we were here to talk about your video.
You dragged my name through the mud, and now you want to sit here and talk about trajectory and angles and all this stuff.
No. Now I'm off. I'm on the building now.
If you were a responsible journalist, we could have done this. I'm not doing that.
We're doing it now.
So
I'm
ask
very
your
responsive.
question.
Okay, I got
a question next. We talked about this building next.
I got to give reaction, because it's fair use. I want to provide some value to this. So these guys never come to an understanding. Obviously, I don't know how much that what if Coleman is trolling him or not. But I mean, they both have. Coleman has a right to think that, man, that does look strange. I think it's totally innocent, and the other guy has a right to defend himself, and we just happen to have the right to watch it and to comment on it. And so I love it. I think it's super funny. I'm so glad I found it.
Okay. You roll up on the building at 52 minutes. You're watching it because the cops are there, so it's drawing your attention to it.
Yeah. Next. Yep.
How long do you stay on it? 2 minutes.
I don't know. I have no
2
idea.
minutes. I'm telling you, 2 minutes.
I got a good view. I wanted to get a good view of the cops on the building before I moved on. That was it, dude.
Okay.
Who cares?
So, but my point is, if you're there to see what the cops are doing,
and then at this point,
you stop talking.
So this is when the guy tells me in my ear to pan around to show the camera on that building, right?
All right. So you show up to show what the cop. Are you there to show what the cops are doing, or that cop?
That comment on the bottom says, "Baron, you must learn that you are arguing with a malignant narcissist. That is not good strategy. You will never get anywhere with him. He is hellbent, abusive, wasting your time." That's a pretty bold, judgmental statement.
Or there, period. I guess that's my question.
For like this little time,
the aftermath of the event. I'm in
just like this little bit of video.
Shock. I just took my kid to a public execution, and I'm just only recording for the sake of recording. That's it. I thought the cops were there. That looked interesting for a minute, and then we moved on to the next shot. I didn't see a camera on the corner of that building. I pan over to that building for a second. You pause it in your live stream and spend 20 minutes or something talking about how the people in my ear told me that I need to get a perfect shot of that 360-degree camera on the parking structure or whatever. Like it's a blip in the radar. I videoed that spot for a second and then moved on. Like this. Once again, we're back to the dumbest conspiracy theories I've ever been a part of. Thank you for including me in this.
No, it's again, if they're dumb, then they should be easy to disprove, and you just
they are easy to disprove if you watch the footage, but you pause it in one spot. You pause it in one arbitrary spot. Hang on a second. How come I can't make a fucking point without you cutting me off, dude?
Because it's redundant, dude. It's redundant. Now you are coming off as like a narcissist asshole. I don't know about malignant. I wouldn't go that far. But he's coming off as a narcissist asshole. And it's just redundant. He's saying the same thing over and over. Dude's actually trying to ask him more questions moving forward the conversation, but he's not. He's not. Because you won't shut up.
Okay.
Because you won't shut up.
Listen to me. You pause the video in one arbitrary spot that fits your bullshit narrative, and you make 20 minutes of content on it. And I'm telling you, that was 1 second. I videoed the corner of that building for 1 minute. I didn't see any cops on that building. I didn't video that building intentionally. I videoed the building with the cops intentionally. The video that you pause and say, look at this. The people in his ear told him that he needed to video this camera where we got the camera angle from the FBI to legitimize their theory. Like, dude, that's utter bullshit. I saw that for 1 second. You paused it. You paused my footage for 1 minute for a moment in time that fits your narrative perfectly. That's what you did.
Dude, Baron really trolled this guy during this call. I don't know if that's what he set out to do, but he ended up doing, when he seen the dude start to crash out, his chat is going insane about it. And they're all on Baron's side. I haven't seen, well, there was a couple people that said, like, I was on the other dude's side until the redundant filibustering. So
you're only viewing the footage that fits your conspiracy theory world that you live in.
So can I ask my question? Now that you've spoken uninterrupted, will you answer my question?
Let me finish. I didn't finish yet.
Dude, he hasn't finished yet. Dude, he hasn't finished yet. How have you not finished?
This is exactly like at the very start of my stream where I'm going from position to position and you pause the footage while I'm carrying the camera over my head. It briefly glimpses the Losi
Yeah, his chat is just going insane. I wish I could stop and read them all. I mean, I could.
Center where the official sniper nest story is, and you pause it on that brief moment in time where I glimpse that spot, and you get a half hour's content out of it saying that I've been told to video that spot to make sure it's clear of all as a spotter. Like, dude, that was 1 second, just like this is 1 second in the footage, and you have chosen to pause it because it fits your ridiculous narrative.
Can I ask my question now?
Go ahead, ask the next question. It better be about a different building.
No. This is an important building. The Losi Center is the only important building.
And I saw, we're talking about this little parking structure now.
I'm not done with the Losi Center. Stop.
Move on. I told you why.
You don't get to tell me to move on my own show.
I already told you why I was at the Losi Center. I'm not parsing through your theory.
And I'm telling you
through your theory. No, stop telling me. Ask me your question about the next thing because we already talked about the Losi Center. Were you
there to show that there were cops on the building, or were you there to show what the cops were doing on the building? That's my question. You
already asked this question. I already answered it, which was that I wanted to just get an idea, give people an idea of where the cops were at for a minute before I moved on. The cops had just yelled at me from the rooftop of that building, so I videoed that building for a minute. They just yelled at me from that building. So I was like, oh, let me just video over this building for a minute. That makes sense.
So now you wander through the parking lot here.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Okay. So that's not a parking lot?
I don't go through the parking lot. I just go up to the sidewalk there.
Well, I'm just going to let it roll for a second. So you
plant my tripod for a minute.
So what are you doing? Talk to me about what you're doing here. Because you said I freeze 1 second. So tell me what's going on here.
I'm walking. I can't see what the camera's pointed at right now. I'm just walking with my tripod.
Okay.
So we're in the process of moving around, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe I can go this way to get to the front of it.
What? He can't see what his. Well, he could have turned just to look at the kids with his body, because I guess his camera will turn wherever his body turns. He's probably just just carrying his tripod. He's probably just la 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 la, and it's just turning wherever. I believe that. I don't think it's a big conspiracy that he's involved in the Charlie Kirk assassination. That's a huge stretch. He's a guy that lives there. He's lived there. He's not in some incel or some CIA planted cell. I mean, well, he could be CIA, but doubtful. The CIA didn't kill Charlie Kirk.
And then we look around. I'm like, I'm not really sure where to go.
When you say it's amazing though, when you set stuff down, you always set it down exactly on things that make the news.
Yeah, that is true. That is so true. It is amazing, bro, because it happened a million times. Like, I mean, every time he stopped, he was shooting something that would be important, or that something happened, or that something was witnessed from. It's nuts.
So I'm probably not looking at the iPad. If the camera starts to pan around, then I will be looking at where it's shot. Right now, I'm probably looking at my phone.
This is not a still frame for people back home.
We're calling my wife at this moment. So that's what we're doing. So right now, the camera's there. I'm not even
look. It's a rooftop.
I just plunked it down after walking.
One of his commenters said, "Look, it's a rooftop."
We just walked from one place. I walked to the next one. That was what was in
the probably frame.
There was nothing significant about that building at the time. So I just plunked it down. And if you listen to the volume, I'm talking off camera to my son because we're trying to find out where my wife is.
So you would understand why people might find this as suspicious, considering this exact image is what showed up the next day when they said, "Oh, look, the camera that got the entire shooting on if it came from the Losi."
I can, out of context, after you pile on all the assertions that you made. See, now here I'm actually paying attention to where I'm going. Okay, no, I just picked it up.
Back on the corner where the guy dropped.
I didn't pan it. So if you go back, we can probably turn up the volume and listen.
I don't want to go back. I want to.
No, hang on. See, that's your problem. You don't want to go back and understand the context of the situation, which is how we got here in the first place, Baron. Okay.
Where are the cops? Show me the cops that you're filming.
No, stop for a second. Go back to where we were. Okay. I told you that I was not focused in on any particular building. I had just planted my tripod down because I wasn't sure where we were going. And if you pull up the volume, we could probably hear that I'm talking off camera to my son or to my wife because we're trying to figure out where to go next, because I'm not sure exactly where she's at the time. So the camera's not on any specific thing, but you don't care about the context enough to try and go dig into the details and try and, what's he saying?
I do. I care
in between here. No, you just said, I don't want to go back.
I care tremendously about the context.
Just like you said.
You just told me to stop going back to that building.
You just said, I don't want to go back. Just like previously when somebody in your comments before I came on here said,
Let me remind you guys. These guys both said, F it, I'm out of here. Okay, see you later. He's kicked him off. He said he was going to leave. They reversed it, came back. Now it's 25 minutes later, and they're still talking about really 3 corners of one building.
Why didn't you call me? And you said, I got a job. I don't got time to do all that.
I don't.
That's the exact same
here's my question.
You not wanting to go back and dig into the details and find out on that specific section why I was on that thing, because I actually wasn't even looking at the camera. I was actually talking to someone on the phone or whatever, doing whatever I was doing in the background, because you don't care about the context of that. You just want to move forward to the next thing that, the next whatever. And I'm sitting here trying to explain why was it on that insignificant building? At the time, I wasn't looking at the camera. I was not even bothering with it. I just plunked it down. We were trying to figure out where we were going. And then instead of panning around and getting a better shot, I just pick up the tripod again and start moving.
I don't even think Baron was listening to that. He was looking for something else to talk shit about.
All right. Am I able to ask you a question again? Are you done filming?
Now, go ahead.
Okay. So you understand why when you focused on the corner where the guy dropped and there were no cops in the frame, and then you turn and you focus on the building behind, that then becomes a big part of the story, because that's the building that has the camera that got what the entire shooting allegedly got it on camera. And that's the footage that was released by the FBI. And then you turn and you focus here on the parking lot where the guy was known to have egressed off of campus. You understand now, and supposedly stored the gun by the chicken coop right over here.
I do not understand how you could possibly come up with these conspiracy theories. If you watch my video with the volume up and you listen to what's going on in the context of any given spot in my video, you'll be able to understand.
Let me ask you, what's right over there?
You'll be able to have a fuller comprehension of what's going on. So now at this point, I'm going to walk down and walk to the left. If you look at where the shooter.
This is exactly where Tyler Robinson walked.
Goes on the videos. He crosses over this grass. We probably just crossed paths right there.
Yeah, he goes to the amazing, right. Isn't it?
He goes to the right, and I go to the left.
That's crazy. So. Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. I mean, it's as if you filmed exactly where he was going to go, or where he went.
He had already been there.
Yeah, that's nuts.
So, when I first planted myself on the top of that grassy knoll videoing the roof of the Losi Center, I was thinking the cops are up there. Something important might happen up there.
He's saying the same thing. He's saying that, and he's adding to it. First, it was just showing what they were doing, just to show that they were there. Now it's like, oh, hey, no, there might be something important there. Look, he has nothing to do with it. I know that almost for a fact, but it is strange, and he keeps talking about it like. He keeps explaining himself. It's redundant as hell. It's as redundant as me saying the word redundant. Right? So I don't know. I don't know. I think it's funny that he just happened to film it all. Now look, to what end, right? If I think Barron would have a better argument if he could say, you're doing this. It's obvious you're doing this. It's completely accidental. But if Barron could say, give a motive or like to what end you're doing this, then it would be different. It would be different. Then you would have an argument.
Videoing for a minute.
He's trolling.
They're just standing there, like yelling at people from the rooftop, like they did to me. And then I decided to move on. Like that's so. I don't know where at the time I had no idea where the guy jumped off the roof or whatever. I had no confirmation.
I mean, it's an amazing coincidence. I'll give you that.
Other than
which is why I was drawing attention
about life. It's full of them.
I mean,
the reality is that you're going to have
there is no such thing as a coincidence. But I don't think this is a coincidence. I don't think he did it on purpose. I know that I just kind of double spoke there, but. Because I just want to hear that to say this, that in the Hebrew language, and I'm talking about because I'm a Christian, in the Hebrew language and in almost every early language, there was no word for coincidence. It's very telling because there was no such thing as a coincidence. They truly believed that back then.
In real life,